SaharaTV, you are welcome back. My name is Kwesi, Baako. Post-election blues in Nigeria, everything seems to have calmed down a great deal after a very grueling presidential election. Now the poll is declared and General Muhammad Buhari is the new president-elect of the Republic of Nigeria. But how are things going on the ground in Nigeria? How are his party members, celebrating, etc.? We are crossing over to Nigeria to speak with Malam Garba Shehu, who is the Director of Media and Publicity for the APC presidential campaign. You're welcome to SaharaTV, Malam Shehu.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate your time too, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, let me ask you, President Goodluck Jonathan made a really early concession. Were your camp expecting such an early concession at all? How did you feel about that?
No, we were not expecting it. As you said in your intro, given the kind of campaign that they ran, with all of the bitterness and the hate, it's the malice and all of that. No, it came as a surprise. As a matter of fact, it felt like we were living in a dream. But there it is. And I think that Mr. Jonathan showed a rare type of grace unseen in politics, certainly totally unexpected of, as I said, where he was coming from, given the type of campaign that they ran.
So now General Muhammadu Buhari is the president-elect of Nigeria. In about a month or so, he will assume office as the substantive president of the country. Do you have your shadow cabinet in place? Do you have all the arrangements done? Are you ready to resume governing Nigeria?
Well, the party is ready. The party is ready to take over government. Do we have a cabinet list? Certainly no. I believe that as it is now, we just came out of the elections barely, 36 hours ago. So we've been hugging one another, pumping handshakes and all of that. I believe that serious thinking and, the process of transition would obviously commence immediately after the Easter holidays. We're getting the hints that the president's side will be ready from Tuesday. And I believe that we have no reason not to be ready, be on the table from Tuesday, the moment they are ready. My sense is that matters of appointment, whether cabinet or whatever, probably don't, it's not the most important thing that we face. Look, this country has enormous challenges that it faces. And the country is almost broken. Again, I keep going back to the type of campaign that we came through. I guess a few people realize how close we had come to the edge. The brinkmanship was reckless, and there it was. And so therefore, I think that Nigerians, as it is now, are taking a deep breath and thanking God, saying, well, this is God just made this happen, because it never occurred to us that there was this there would be this easy climb down, by those who rule us. Let's face it.
So President-elect Buhari is stepping into a seat that's not very comfortable at all. He's actually inheriting a myriad of problems from his predecessor, President Jonathan. Top on the list, I can think of Boko Haram and a few others. How prepared is the general to do this? Is he ready to hit the ground running? And what issues does he plan to tackle first on his list?
Well, to be honest with you, I kind of agree with you. I don't envy him, because, as I said, the country has been fractured. The wages have been driven, between our peoples, whether in terms of where they come from, ethnic, religious, background, all of these things have been fomented and had been whipped up. This country needs serious healing. But beyond that, you know, as you said, the issue of security is key to General Muhammadu Buhari. And this nuisance about Boko Haram, it has to be ended. Otherwise, this country will just not be able to do anything. That's one. And two, of course, you know that the economy is in a tailspin. We are in trouble with the economy. And the young people, 60% of them don't have jobs. There cannot be peace in any country where there is this high level of graduate unemployment. That's one. And the other issue, of course, is that of corruption, which has reached industrial scale. And General Buhari says he isn't simply going to allow this to continue. So these are the three key issues that we have ahead of us: economy, security, and the issue of corruption. And so, yeah, is he ready to hit the... He is ready, because what does he need? There's a party that has formulated a manifesto, and a manifesto that is of a different kind, because the APC manifesto doesn't simply say we will do jobs, we will do this or that. It gives a common sense solution to just everything. So we have no reason not to hit the ground running.
Okay, sir, I hear you saying that. But let me go back to a point that you mentioned a while ago about Nigeria needing healing. General Buhari finds himself in a position where he has to unite the whole of Nigeria. There are a lot of people who did not necessarily vote for him or even like his politics, so to speak. Now he has the onerous task of trying to bring all these people together with those who voted for him under one umbrella. What strategy do you have for this? What strategy does the general have for doing this?
Well, you can see that from the way he has made two major speeches coming this far upon, you know, his declaration, and when he took the certificate of return from the Independent National Commission. On each count, he was careful in stressing one thing, that he's going to be a president for all of Nigeria, extending the hand of fellowship to everyone, and saying that he harbors no malice, no hatred, you know, no ill feeling towards any individual or any section of the country. I want Nigerians to believe him, give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm sure that you will see him, you know, get down to carrying this out.
Great. So prior to the actual election, there were questions of how democratic General Buhari is against the backdrop that he was once a military leader. He has made it clear that he has embraced democracy, and not just him. He indeed said that Nigeria has embraced democracy. But there are some who still may have doubts as to how democratic his rule is going to be. How democratic is General Buhari's rule going to be this time around?
General Buhari has proven this. He ran for this office 3 times in the past. First time, he's won it. Can you recall that on each count that he lost the election, he didn't take up arms or threaten anyone? What he did, he went through the legal process. He took his case to the Court of Appeal, leading up to the Supreme Court of the land. The highest court of the land adjudicated on matters of his disagreement with outcomes of the previous elections. How more democratic does he need to show that he is? But in addition to that, look, the military era was era of a dictatorship. He has made that confession. The constitution was partially suspended, and the country was ruled by decree. Now, under this constitution, which he's going to swear to uphold, power is not just in the hands of the president or the executive arm of the government. No, power is shared. There's the judiciary in this country. It is strong and activist. There's a parliament that is independent and representing all sections of the country. No president can overrule the courts in this country, not any longer. No president can overrun the parliament. It can't happen. So he is sharing power with other institutions of state. And I believe that they are moderating. The checks and balances have worked with other presidents. They will work with General Muhammadu Buhari. More than any other thing, he says by himself that he's a born-again Democrat. He is beholden to tenets of democracy. And I believe that by subjecting himself to the due process of law in cases where he lost elections, and the fact that he had been a member of a political party, went through primary elections, and subjected himself to contest, even within his own political party, to emerge as candidate. Great. And then, of course, going to run against Mr. Jonathan and winning this time around. I mean, what more does he need to do? I think it's the credential is firmly established.
Okay. All right. So also, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some have pointed to some people in the APC alleging corruption against them. These are people who are close to General Buhari. On the other hand, General Buhari has sworn to really deal with the issue of corruption in his tenure. How easy is this going to be for the general to do? Is he going to be firm in dealing with corruption? Is he really going to, is his cutlass going to cut both ways?
Exactly. He has made it very clear. In fact, even before this enormous victory that he won, when the party gave him its ticket, I remember I was there in Lagos after the convention. He stood there and said that he will fight corruption no matter who is involved. Now, what I want your viewers to understand, I mean, is the fact that APC professes to change. This change is not just about changing government, but it's also about changing attitudes. And our sense is that whoever has chosen to come into APC, assuming they had a past that is not exactly, clean, by moving to APC and coming around General Buhari, submitting themselves to his leadership, now presupposes that they themselves are now ready. They have given a clear indication that they are making the transition from what is a past that probably is not exactly clean, and to one that is acceptable. So this is I think that the good thing that the APC is doing for Nigeria. The other parties, PDP in particular, are choosing to say, well, they are comfortable with the existing order of things, rotten as it is, and that they are living with it. Now, whoever has made the movement into APC, coming from PDP or from wherever, itself presupposes that they have resolved that they are making a change.
I hear you. I'm sorry, Malam, I hear you saying that. I just want to ask you if Nigerians can count on the fact that people who have fallen foul of the law would definitely be prosecuted. There were reports in the media before the elections about missing oil revenue, stuff like that. Can Nigerians count on the firmness of General Buhari to deal with elements like these?
Well, General Buhari, again, let's make it clear. He has said he is going to draw a line. So much of the fear that is being expressed about him, around him, is the fear of the fact that he will embark on a witch hunt. Look, the urgency of the situation in Nigeria is such that you don't have the 1 minute that is required for you to start looking back. What he says he wants to draw a line, that whatever happens, he will have responsibility for whatever happens under him. And that whoever engages in wrongdoing under his own tenure will not get away with it. Now, the only caveat is ongoing cases that are in the courts or being investigated by anti-corruption agencies, he will not interfere. But it's to think that General Buhari has the time, has the energy, or has the will to embark on a massive retrospective investigation, probes, and all of that. No, he has ruled that out. It's not going to happen.
Okay, finally, sir, and I apologize for keeping you up so late, but finally, there are gubernatorial elections on the horizon. The APC needs to get a strong win in that area as well to support General Buhari's his tenure as president of the Republic of Nigeria. How are you planning to do this, to win a strong enough, support for General Buhari?
Okay. Well, you know that what is going to help us, one thing is that Nigeria is a nation of copycats. Expect that a lot many people will like to ride, on the bandwagon train. They will come along. But beside all of this, you know that we have lost dearly about 4 states in which there was no election in the past, in the presidential election. I'm talking about Akwa Ibom State, Rivers, Delta, and the Imo. And the collaboration of the security services is discernible. The courts will decide what happened over our senatorial districts and all of that in the past election. However, I imagine that whichever police commissioner or army commander you have in all of these states that had been used to subvert the election in the past week would obviously now be looking at a different picture of a commander-in-chief. Any sensible police commissioner in Port Harcourt or Delta, wherever, he's not going to be looking at the face of Mr. Jonathan, because Mr. Jonathan is an outgoing president. 2 months, he won't be there. So they'll be looking at the face of General Buhari. Our hope is that is a deterrent. It's a deterrent enough for them to allow. We don't want to be favored. All we want is that let the process, because the new technology using the card reader had worked all over the northern states of Nigeria. It worked in the southwest part of the country. Why was it sabotaged in the south and in the southeast? It was due to a joint collaboration between politicians and security services. And we hope that, having been found out, they probably look at the picture of Mr. Buhari. He's going to be commander-in-chief from May. They will allow the right thing to be done.
Thank you so much, Malam Garba Shehu. And once again, let me apologize for reaching you so late. And we really do appreciate your time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, sir. So this has been Malam Garba Shehu, Director of Media and Publicity for the All Progressives Congress presidential campaign. SaharaTV, stay tuned. There's more coming.